This is the Boox Air5 C. It's an Android e-paper tablet, and that puts it kind of in between worlds for this sort of device, right? It's not a tablet, it's not an e-reader, but it's a little bit of both, and there's some really interesting benefits to that, but there's also some really interesting compromises. It's a little bit slow to start up, and that feels a little weird for an e-ink device when you think you'd want to get right into it. I'm an avid reader. Right now I have a Kobo Clara HD, which is one of the reasons that I'm ready to upgrade. I've had it for a while. It's getting a little slow, its battery's not lasting quite as long, and this gives me a lot more options. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, and let's take a look at what's in the box first. It's a nice premium feeling box. It feels like it is just a couple manuals, so you know, that's great. I'll never read those. And this is some of the accessories. So we have the stylus in here. It feels like a pen. It's like the right size. It's not too bulky. It looks like there's a cap here with some of the extra tips that come with it, and they look like they're all the same to me, so they're just extra because these do wear out. What else is in here? A little pin that looks like it's for a SIM card, but it's not. It's for the micro SD card slot because this has expandable storage, which is really nice. And then we have the cable. And this is a USB A to C, and it's like, what would you say this is? Like 5 feet? I don't know. 3 feet? 3 feet. I don't know. I moved from Europe. I don't know these strange imperial systems. And then over here we have the folio cover for the 5C, and this is one of two cover options. You can either get this bundled with the base price, the standard bundle price, or you can upgrade to a keyboard cover bundle. This is pretty cool though. I like this. I don't see a big need for a Bluetooth keyboard. Productivity is a big use for these things though, so I can see why someone would want one. And this is really nice. It feels, obviously not like real leather, but it's like a similar vibe to it, which is pretty great. I like that this magnetic band actually comes straight off because these can get in the way so often on like similar notebook covers. It's really cool how this fits in. It's just all magnetic, so you just place it in and it's now in place and it doesn't shake out, and that's cool. But the really cool part about this band being separated is that it can hold the pen. You know, if you shake this hard enough, I'm sure it being knocked will fall off. But if you've got this case that comes bundled with it and you're walking around, you just slap that on, and hey, you know, that's pretty secure. I think that's all right. But it's not gonna be dangling around in your way. You can just get it out of here and get to using your device. That's cool. I like that. I think this case, we need to spend a second on this case because these slits in it are actually useful. You can use them to prop it up in a variety of positions. If you want it in the portrait configuration, we can do origami again, or is it just gonna work the same way? It just works the same way. That's great. So this is a color e-ink device with a 10.3-inch screen, which for me, coming from a 6 or 7-inch screen, is quite an upgrade. The device itself is like really light for something that has like any kind of compute, and it's really thin. It is 440 grams and 5.8 millimeters thick. That's pretty sleek. It's good. And it also means that like a case like this isn't adding an insane amount of thickness to it. The USB-C port has a hole cut through the folio case, so of course you can charge while the case is closed. That's convenient. But everything else, there's two speakers here, and you have a few different buttons. This is the power and sleep button, and two buttons here. And now I know that this has gestures for like swiping that you can adjust, but I wouldn't be surprised if you can customize these buttons. By default, they are volume up and down. And this is also a Bluetooth enabled e-ink tablet, which means that like if you wanted to put audiobooks on here and link up your Bluetooth headphones, that would be a great solution for everything. And so let's get into the experience, but not before a word from our sponsor.
There is absolutely no reason that we need to be throwing so many socks in the landfill, especially now. It took us over half a decade, but we finally did it. We made our forever sock. And okay, nothing actually lasts literally forever, but We do want to make products that last, and that's why we went through almost 20 prototypes to make something that is both comfortable and lasts a long time, and doesn't just last, but also doesn't build up stink over time. To achieve that, we partnered with Welltec, a Canadian company, to integrate a nanotechnology that bonds odor-inhibiting copper ions directly into the fibers. And those fibers, they're merino wool, nylon, and spandex, so you get a comfy, slipper-like cushion in every step without compromising on breathability. We believe in the Forever Socks so much that we're putting our limited lifetime warranty on them. So head over to lttstore.com to grab a few pairs for you and maybe a few pairs for your badminton partner.
One of the interesting things about this display is that Boox or whatever you're supposed to say, you can change the way the display works to be better suited to whatever content you are seeing on the screen. And that's via Boox e-ink Wise here. So they have a bunch of different modes that you can just select by scrolling up here with one of their gestures to get a look at it. And they have their recommended spec, their fast refresh, and custom. Here's all of the modes within it. So you can just customize one that suits your preference for refresh mode. It's got speed, which I assume is just making the actual refresh happen faster, but that's a bit of a guess. And I assume that HD is best quality. And then they've got the same kind of things for color mode, except I see some bars here for custom, but can I get into that? Yeah, that's cool. So you can change the contrast, vividness, and color brightness. So, okay, let's take a look at how these affect content. And I don't think that they're going to be the most impactful for something like reading a book, but because this is a tablet where you can browse the web, that would certainly make a difference. So Regal Mode is a mode designed to reduce ghosting while preserving good visual quality. And ghosting, I'm not sure they mean ghosting like you would mean when you're talking about a traditional emissive display, where if you're like moving an object around, you have that little trail behind it. I think what they mean is a ghost image. And so that's the kind of mode that you would want if you were reading comics and you were looking at art that needed to have good, precise quality to it to get that full experience. Speed, which is fast refresh for responsive scrolling, obviously the kind of mode that you would want if you are on a web page or watching a video or something where you need the image to change more quickly. And then what's this? Smooth is the new mode here, which is the fastest refresh rate for ultra fluid scrolling. So it's what, fast and then faster? That's like options. So this is an anti-glare screen, and it works. That on an iPad is a lot of glare. You can really see the shape of it. But here with the anti-glare display, it's just kind of like a soft bar. Here is the brightness of an iPad display, and this is the default bright front light on the Boox e-reader. We can turn that off, and that's not very much different than the default. But if we want to turn bright, let's see all the way up. How bright can it get? That's pretty bright. And then that's temperature as well. Okay, cool. So you can have a very cool screen, or you can have somewhere in the middle and set the temperature that you like. I like it right there. That's a lot brighter than I would have expected this to go. Looks like there's more options here. That's a lot of options. There's the full refresh option right here. There's got to be a faster way to get to a full refresh of your screen though, because I don't want to go into my menu and then here when I do that. Hand touch is disabled. Okay, so if you don't want your hand to get in the way, yeah, so I can't screw that up, but the pen works. That's great. So this device uses Android 15, and I understand that Boox is planning to support that for 3 years. So it's a little bit behind on the Android operating system, but I think 15 is recent enough that it's okay. But it's got full Play Store integration, which means you can install the apps that you want. And this really gets into the things that have been tempting me about this. Probably the biggest one is news reading. I use an RSS feed for the news outlets that I read the most, and sometimes I don't want to read on a computer screen, so I gravitate to a book or something. But there's times I need to get caught up on my news. As you can see here, I've got my RSS feed of choice, which is News Blur, and I am gonna just open The Verge really quick. Here we go. Tim Cook says RAM expenses are unsustainable and Apple is going to raise prices. And we can already see a little bit of a ghost image from just opening up that article here. So I want to solve that fast refresh issue that I talked about earlier, where I would have to open the menu to do it that way. See, because now it's gone. But also there's the option for gestures. And there are default gestures. But if we check here, there's side gestures, and here's the default. On the left side of the screen, if you move up and down, you can adjust the volume, which we've got these the handy buttons on the side, so okay. But also, if you move the right side of the screen, you get brightness. And then we have the left and right swipe gestures. And this is back on the left side, which makes sense, but then it's also back on the right side, and that seems strange to me, so I also want to customize that. And I could set that to be like next page or something, but Tap will already do that in a lot of e-reader apps. So instead I'm going to change that to full refresh. And there we go. We're in the news article, not great, full refresh. Fantastic. But an e-reader that's not locked into an ecosystem is great because you can get your ebooks from any ecosystem on board, including things like a public library. You can just boot up Libby, and I've already linked my library card here so you can see what I'm reading right now, which is Apple in China. But more so than that, I think the thing that convinced me about this is music. I play guitar and I regularly have like a laptop open in front of me with tabs or sheet music if I'm referencing something, and that is cumbersome. You know, it changes what you can have in front of you. You need like a small table instead of just like a music stand. But I've tried using an iPad to do that with, and the battery dies so fast. So wouldn't it be great if you had an e-ink display, which this whole time filming this, I'm only at 93%, that drew very little battery and could sit in front of you? Well, this does that. Here we are, we're ready to go. I'm gonna turn the speakers off for now because, you know, we don't want to get a copyright strike. But you can see that, you know, if I'm playing this on a guitar, rather than having paper in front of me, rather than having a laptop that I have to interact with the display, I can play it. And the refresh rate seems pretty good as this staff is moving down. Like, ghosting is not distracting. I can see everything in good contrast. This is an experience that I could have just on a sheet music stand. All right, let's take a look at these speakers though. I want to hear some crab rave. That's actually better quality speakers than I expected. Okay, let's take a look at the image. If you're coming here thinking that your video is gonna be perfect on an e-ink display, I don't know what to tell you. But if you are in a pinch and you wanna watch a quick video, you know, you can do it. What setting were we on here? Okay, so we're on speed. Let's try smooth. May cause ghosting. Okay, let's try regal. That is not great. All right, but if we go into speed, that's a video. Okay, so, you know, color doesn't work great on video. The hues of this are a little bit muted anyways. Let's try something different. Let's try comics. That's smoother than I expected. Obviously, again, muted colors. I think everyone has come to expect that from any color e-reader. This looks good. Like, I'm not gonna call the colors vivid, but like, they don't look faded. You know, it doesn't look like a piece of paper that sat in the sun or something like that. This is definitely something I could read. The pen that comes with it is the Boox Pen 3, and you know, if you want to compare to size of our scribe driver, it's not far off. It's got the same tips as previous pens, I'm told, and I understand it's a passive pen, which means you don't have to charge it like you would have to an Apple Pen, which is an active pen. Hi. ShortCircuit. That feels like remarkably like paper. You know, like the kind of like gritty feeling that you get when you're writing on a piece of paper because it's not actually perfectly smooth? I have some of that. That's supposed to be a feature of the particular e-ink display, which is a Kaleido 3 color screen. It's got 300 ppi in color and 150 ppi in black and white, and that's neat. The latency is impressive. It's really following closely. A little bit of a trail there, but if I wasn't looking for it, I really don't think that I'd be able to see it. It's got pressure sensing, which you can see there. It's also got tilt detection. There is supposed to be AI text detection in this, so it can like detect what you've written and take it from messy handwriting to something in just regular text. Here it is, AI text recognition. Hey, that's pretty good. I've used this on other devices and my writing was like way too messy and it made a bunch of guesses. But that's done a pretty good job. Even got the lowercase, cool. So that's a lot of what this can do, but it's not really a lot of who this is for. This is not a cheap e-reader, and some of these features that you're seeing with like the pen is something that you can get for a lot less from like a Kobo Libra. But the Boox Air5 C is a $530 device with the folio cover. If you wanted to upgrade to the keyboard cover bundle, that's going to be $606 US. That's from the US warehouse. You can get these things a little bit cheaper if you order it from Hong Kong and maybe get around some tariff stuff if you're in Canada land. And that gets you a device that has an octa-core CPU with 6 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of storage, and that micro SD expandability. A battery capacity of 3,700 milliamp hours in this thin of a chassis. So this gives you a little bit more power than a typical e-reader, a lot more options because of the Android-based operating system, but it is pricey, which means a lot of people might think I can get this functionality elsewhere, and I don't need the e-paper display for things that I can do on a tablet or on my computer. As for me, I think that this ticks a lot of the boxes that I want in a device, and just so much of my day is spent on a normal screen, but being able to get away from that but still have a lot of the functionality that I get from my devices when I'm doing things like playing guitar, that seems really nice. If you're thinking of buying this device, one thing to keep in mind is the company behind Boox, Onyx, has been accused by the community of violating the Linux kernel GPL license. Apparently there's evidence they've made some modifications to the kernel, and when users have requested it from the company, they've just not been provided with it. So that sucks if that's true. Respect open source licenses. Thanks for watching. If you like that, Riley's done some short circuits on e-paper devices in the past, and you should check out those.